Guys, this is going to be the most honest and truthful and honestly frustrating takes that I'm going to have on the KTM 890 Adventure, or in more particular, my motorcycle. If there is one thing I'm going to be, and that is completely honest with you guys, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is one of the most frustrating problems that I've had, and it is honestly making me rethink everything about the KTM 890 Adventure. Don't get me wrong, I still love this motorcycle, but I'm having some second thoughts. And this is not one of those YouTuber clickbait things where like, oh, no, I mean, totally honest. If there's one thing about me that you can know on my channel, I have been completely honest about everything. And I'm definitely in a tough spot right now with this motorcycle. I've had this bike for honestly only a couple of months, but it's it's a long story. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jeffrey. We do all things related to overlanding, off-roading, adventure motorcycling, and travel trailering. So if you love automotive lifestyle and adventure content, check out the channel. But with that out of the way, we're talking about the KTM 890 Adventure. So the biggest issue with this bike so far is that I've been having, which I talked about kind of briefly on the channel, I didn't really go into too much depth about it, is the front end wobble that I've been having. I've heard a couple people like in some forums and stuff like that were talking about this, and I've been working to like fix it myself off camera. So I have been playing around with the suspension. So the way it kind of works is, before, when I first bought the bike, long story short, when we were back on the East Coast, had the motorcycle, first bought it, when I noticed like everything was fine, like it drives fine, everything like that. But on the highway, especially when it's like the rain grooves in the highway, I noticed like when I first got on the highway, I was like, oh, this feels a little bit weird. When I tried to accelerate, the front end would feel very loose and it would vibrate going crazy. It almost felt like it wanted to go into a death wobble. If I were to accelerate fully into it, I'm sure it actually would go into a full-on death wobble where the front end would just go crazy like that. So after doing some research and looking into it more, I've seen some other people were having this issue as well. One of the things that I was seeing is it could be, well, with KTM, the head bolt, I believe it's called, wherever the thing is. It's quite literally this bolt that's underneath the handlebars. Some people were saying that this from factory sometimes isn't torqued down to spec, which is pretty bad if it's not torqued down to spec from the factory. So yeah, that's not good if it's not torqued down to spec from factory. The other thing is people were saying it could be the suspension, which makes sense because of it's mostly under acceleration. So seems like the weight transfer was transferring the weight mostly to the rear, and the front end would feel like it was slightly tipping up more, causing it to go into like semi-death wobble. So that's what I was thinking it was. So I've been playing around with the suspension. I've been playing around with the preload, adjusting it and doing everything like that. I've been using ChatGPT as well and like really trying to dive into it. And so from my own just adjustments, I have been able to make it a little bit better. And I've been going out, testing it, going on the highway, testing, adjusting the settings, testing it, and doing this over and over again. And like, I've been doing that like off camera. I just went out last night for like the last time, and I was like, okay, cool, I think I got it dialed in. Let's jump on the highway, let's see how it goes, which I'll show you some of that footage. This is super frustrating. I just got done doing a quick ride with the bike, and the front still feels very unsteady when I'm on the highway. It's like the moment I get, well, I'm backlit, but the moment I get above 85, it just, front end is just wobbling. So I adjusted all the preload settings and it still feels like trash. I think it's time to take it into KTM to see what's up, because like it's not even trying to do anything crazy, but just trying to pull away from cars. Like the moment I hit like 85, the front end feels super wobbly, like just unsteady, and that's not a fun feeling to have when you're on the highway. So yeah, we got to get this checked out. Big thing is though, now I can go probably like 85, but as soon as I hit like 85, it just does not feel good at all. The bike just wants to play like a lot. Like it feels like the front end is going like this constantly. I can't take my hands off the handlebars. If I do, I would literally crash. So it's like pretty bad, and it makes driving, especially out here in Southern California, honestly very dangerous. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, cool, why do you need to go over 85 miles per hour? Let me explain. It's not even for the fun factor. It's really like a necessary like feature that you must be able to do on a motorcycle. Especially in California, you can lane split legally. And it's even more than like you can, it's almost a necessity. Like, people expect you to lane split, especially if you're on a motorcycle. If you don't, cars get kind of confused because of like everyone does it. And the way it works, especially on the highway, it's usually the far left lane is the lane that you are not necessarily required to lane split in, but that's like the #1 option to lane split in. That's where people look for you the most. That's where people are kind of expecting it the most. So the far left lane. So especially when traffic backs up, you're in the far left lane, you can automatically kind of shift over and like start lane splitting. So most motorcycles just drive in the far left lane. You can drive in any of the other lanes, but honestly, for like the safety ability, most cars are used to motorcycles driving in the far left lane. Now, with that in mind, especially in Southern California, the far left lane, like not even in the carpool lane, just like, because for me, I usually don't drive in the carpool lane. I drive in like the lane that's like next to the carpool lane. So if I do need to lane split, I can just kind of go in between the carpool lane and that other lane right there. And you know, you can kind of drive right there in between cars if you have to. But yeah, on the far left side, people drive extremely fast. Like, that's just the way it is. Even when I'm in my truck, like just the flow of traffic, you're doing 85 plus, like just the bare minimum, just being in that lane. And if I can't do that on the motorcycle comfortably, like if I am just driving, even if I'm doing 75, 80, you know, just in that lane, and I need to accelerate to get away from other cars that are kind of like bunching up, as soon as I hit the acceleration, it feels like the front end is gonna just go completely crazy, and I have to back off of it in order to settle it back down. And that is not a fun feeling when you're surrounded by cars and it feels like you can't even accelerate out if you have to. And that's not even driving in the carpool lane. Like literally, like even when I'm in my truck, even if I have other people in the truck with me, I don't even really drive in the carpool lane, just because I know like most people, they're just driving like they just want to die. So like, you know what I mean? Like the speed that people drive, especially in Southern California, is a much higher speed level than you would probably drive in other parts of the country. That's just the way it is out here. So not being able to go that speed is actually a bit of a danger, because of a lot of times I feel like, oh, I don't have enough power. It's not that I don't have power, like this bike has plenty of power. I just feel like I can't sustain that speed. So I have to drive in like the other lanes, and cars aren't necessarily looking for motorcycles in those other lanes. So that was like the real frustrating thing. Last night I went out for a drive, tried to see how the bike was gonna feel. And one of the other issues was just going onto the on-ramp, there was a car that was matching my speed. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just accelerate, get in front of them and get over. Because there was literally like a car behind me. So I couldn't really slow down to like let the car go to like go behind him. Like I literally had to just be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna have to just go, get up the speed and get, you know, go around the car. And yeah, that was another instance. Like while I was on the on-ramp accelerating, even before I even got to like 85, it was just under like hard acceleration, the front end felt extremely just unstable. And that's not me saying like it felt like the front end wanted to wheelie, because I've done that before. Like if you take off from like the line, like yeah, the front end was gonna pop up slightly, like you're gonna like, it's basically doing like a power wheelie. Like I'm not talking about that. Like this feels like it's like actual like death wobble. So it is different. Long story short, it keeps doing that. And like last night was just so frustrating. I was just like, what in the world? What am I gonna do? It was just pissing me off, because I'm like, I just wanna ride this motorcycle, and it's that issue alone is causing me to like not want to ride the bike as much as I want to ride the bike. And I've been seeing other people who were having some issues with this. Some people were saying it could be that, the head bolt. So I took the handlebars off, I got a torque wrench, I torqued everything back down to spec, even though it felt like mine technically was. So I even tightened it just slightly more, because I was like, maybe if I go a little bit more, it'll like help it, which I think it did. After doing that, it did help the bike. It can go like 85 now, but it's still like not great. Some people are saying it could be the tires, they could be off balance, could be the front forks as well, it could be that. So there's a couple different things that it could be. But at this point in time, it's just making me like really not want to ride the bike. And if you know me on the channel, that's the thing I hate. I don't like having stuff if I'm not using it. And it really is like one of the biggest like pet peeve of mine, which that does bring up the other point. There are some other things with the motorcycle. There are some downsides, which I don't want to say like I hate the bike, because I don't. I actually like really like this motorcycle. I think it's a great motorcycle, but I'm starting to think, that issue, and plus a couple other things that I'm like, what should I do? Is it worth me trying to fix this issue? which it could be a small issue, could, you know, fix it and it's perfectly fine, but it's not really serving the purpose that I want to use the motorcycle for. My biggest thing is I want to take this bike out on long adventures, long trips and things like that. And it's like, yeah, if I can't even get on the highway and just like cruise, it defeats the whole purpose. I've been doing upgrades to the motorcycle to like make it the best like adventure motorcycle that I can take on long cruises and things like that and have fun with. But this is a major issue that I'm like, well, if I can't even do that, it's kind of like defeating the whole purpose. Which, yeah, you can see I got the GPS and everything like that mounted up, the phone mount, got the full like tire pressure monitors and like the cameras and everything like that. So like this bike is set up to like be a comfortable, you know, cruiser and like fun motorcycle. But there are a couple things that I'm like, you know, actually like with my lifestyle now, it's not quite fitting with, which the biggest thing was taking this thing off-road, which I did do. I want to still do some more, but the other thing is we also have our dirt bikes, our dedicated dirt bikes that are honestly just more fun to take off-road than this, just because the weight. And yeah, and I'll show you guys the dirt bikes where they're at now. But yeah, I don't want this to be like me being like, I'm just completely pooping on this motorcycle. I'm not. Obviously, I bought it with my own money because I wanted this KTM 890 Adventure. I still think this is a great motorcycle. It's just my bike in particular just having a couple issues. And then the other quick thing I do want to mention, like with the motorcycle that I am finding, which I talked about inside of other videos and things like that, just because of the size of it, it does make it a bit more difficult to drive inside of Southern California, where once again, lane splitting is a big feature. Like to be able to go in between cars is like a big thing, and not being able to quite do that as comfortably with this motorcycle has made it more of a challenging thing, that it makes me not want to drive the motorcycle as much as I should be. Like I want to drive this thing more, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of traffic. I won't even take the thing out just because I don't want to have to deal with lane splitting and then sitting there in between cars and things like that, just because of I can't lane split with the motorcycle. Which that brings me to my other point, like this other bike. This is my wife's bike, the CB500F, which I honestly love the styling of this motorcycle. The only thing like really wrong with this bike is just because it's like a smaller displacement. It's just not as powerful. But yeah, I was riding this bike for a while. It's a great bike, and I'm starting to think like, especially for the city, having something like this is a bit more practical and it's a bit more just usable, just because, you know, it's a little bit smaller. I mean, it's not even a little bit, it is way smaller just in sheer height, but height, size, and everything like that. I just really wish this bike was just, you know, honestly faster. And then I think this would be a great motorcycle to drive just in the city. So yeah, I guess my biggest thing is just being totally honest with you guys. I have been just thinking about, is it worth me trying to fix up this motorcycle more, invest more into this bike, or, you know, sell it, get rid of it, get something different, just something better suited for what I wanted to use the bike for. Because the other thing is, I do want to mention is like, I want to be able to take the bike on long trips and things like that, but also take it with us with this travel trailer whenever we go places. I still want to be able to take a motorcycle with us that we can travel and like have fun with a motorcycle wherever we go. This bike is definitely like pushing the limits of what we can carry on this trailer, which we've done that before. I did it across country, but it wasn't fun. Doing it with this other motorcycle was a lot easier, and it makes me think like, could do a smaller motorcycle. Maybe that would be a little bit better of a, you know, thing to do. Or I could honestly, potentially, even if I were to sell this bike and get something that's more of a sport tourer, would be still fun. Or even do like a KTM, just a normal 890, which I did test drive one of those before too. Like an 890 Duke, that would just be cooler. It would be like the Street Fighter version, be like this, just literally with this engine, which would be cool. So there's like a couple different things I'm just thinking about doing. I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like I hate this bike, because I don't. I really love this motorcycle. This motorcycle has like pretty much almost everything that I want. The heated grips, the cruise control, the screen, the rally mode. I mean, even with this exhaust, this thing sounds absolutely wonderful, but it's just like at the end of the day, if I'm having issues using the motorcycle and it like is causing me to like not want to drive it, what is the point of having all the stuff if I don't use it? Like I literally don't use the cruise control because yeah, when I'm on the highway, half the time I'm like, I have to monitor my speed. If I do any type of acceleration, or even if I hit any type of imperfection in the road though too, I I didn't mention this before, it does throw it into that kind of, it's not as bad, but it definitely, I can feel it going, the vibration. So it makes me think like something's up with the suspension in the front end. I think the front fork, something could be wrong. So long story short, I don't know. I'm still just kind of just thinking about what I want to do. This is just me being totally honest with you guys. I love this motorcycle, truly, but at the end of the day, materialistic things, like, they are what they are. Like when I had the Corvette, sold the Ford Focus RS, sold my other Jeep Wrangler, just sold my other truck, you know. So I'm not married to anything. At the end of the day, materialistic things can change. Like if it's not serving the purpose that you want it to serve, what's the point of holding on to it? Like honestly, it's just a thing. But yeah, just me being totally honest with you guys. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Let me know, guys. Am I crazy? Am I tripping? Should I try to just like fix the bike, keep working with it? Or do you think at this point in time it's time to just make a change and swap out from it? So let me know in the comment section below. But if you guys made it to the end of this video, if you want to see my thoughts though, my first impressions of driving this motorcycle off-road, check out this video right here. Subscribe for more. See you over there.